Hey, Vinyl community, we are here once again for our Thursday night get-together discussion. We've got four of us here tonight. We have Aaron Mutha Alamare, we have Gary from Physical Format Rock and Roll, and we have Chris Propfe from Chris Propfe Musically Obsessed. Unfortunately, Josh was not able to join us this evening, so we're going to just do the four of us, and we're going to be talking about our top 5 glam metal, hair metal bands, kind of a hybrid of the two genres. Basically 80s heavy metal, hard rock is what we're going to be talking about, but we're allowing ourselves 2 honorable mentions. Is that what we decided, gentlemen?
Yes. Yep.
All right. So the way that the screens are situated is I'm going to go clockwise, but Chris, you're right underneath me. So why don't you start with your first honorable mention?
Well, I'm going with Neil Diamond. He, you know, a lot of people don't think of him as a hair metal artist, but I mean, if you look at this picture on the back, he was really, I mean, his hair is pretty long.
It is. Plus, look at that outfit.
Look at the outfit.
The dazzled outfit too.
He's glamming out too. So I think I remember reading. I think it was in Motley Crue, The Dirt. They had actually spoken of Neil Diamond as being a pretty big influence on them. And you know, this is a pretty hair metal album, Love at the Greek. He does sort of a revved up version of Sweet Caroline on here. And I don't know. I've always really kind of pointed to this as a pretty seminal hair metal release. So
the picture, you just show me the back cover.
Yeah, I mean, you know, this could have been a Motley Crue album cover right here.
Well, and if you had just shown me that, I really would have thought that was Paul Stanley.
Yeah.
No, you know, already Diamond.
Well, I mean, all he needs is the star on his eye.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But I mean, that could have been, you know, him circa Asylum or, you know,
right.
Crazy from the Heat, or whatever that right. The King Tut one on.
Right.
Hot in the shade.
Hot for teacher. Hot for teacher. Yeah.
No, I don't know. Whatever that Kiss album, Heat Wave, whatever that was called. Hot shade. There we go.
Yeah. Feel the heat.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's the thing. Like, I didn't want to put Neil Diamond like around number 2 or number 1. I mean, I really wanted to, but I had to kind of keep him in that honorable mention. But I still wanted to. He still needed to be spoken of when we speak of hair metal.
Did he write a song on Creatures, or didn't he collaborate with Paul Stanley on the Creatures of the Night album on a couple tracks?
No, he actually collaborated with Desmond Child for a song on Creatures of the Night. A lot of people think he wrote with Paul Stanley. It was actually Neil Diamond and Desmond Child who wrote a lot of the stuff on Creatures.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I heard it somewhere, but thanks for clarifying that.
You're welcome.
Good choice. Gary, your first honorable mention.
Okay. Well, my first one, I think they started off the whole craze. This is from 1983, and I'm going with The Final Cut by Pink Floyd. I mean, just look at that album cover. That screams glam and hair metal, and even the inside here, you know, they got the whole. Remember when everybody's wearing the Japanese shirts and stuff? This is where it started. Well,
Gary, I wanted to say, the front of that does remind me of Kiss Animalize.
I was just gonna grab that.
Yeah,
it kind of has that look, and you know, it's got the song "Not Now, John" on here. I mean, I think that's definitely a hair metal song, and I think Roger Waters and David Gilmour, they started that craze with this album, and you know, it's got like some of the slow ballads that became really popular in the 80s. So that's my honorable mention, would be The Final Cut.
Well, and David Gilmour started wearing makeup around the Animals tour, and I know heavily glammed up when they did those shows for The Wall, and then I think he was full on you know, glam metal for Final Cut. That is a heavy album too.
Very heavy.
Yeah.
Well, that led right into David Gilmour's solo stuff too. I mean, those are some heavy freaking albums of his that he first started off with in the 80s. But yeah, that was a great choice, Gary.
Thank you.
All right, Aaron.
So I'm going to go back even further to where it really the origins of it was, and that's this record here. First, they just started playing those long songs, and then the glam metal bands just kind of shortened that sound a little bit. And this is just where it all started. It doesn't get any more hair metal than this one, really. This cover is just crazy. It looks like a metal cover even.
Well, yeah, I was going to ask, is that a caricature of
Udo Dirk?
Yes.
It looks like it.
I'm blanking on the lead singer of Aerosmith right now. Why am I blanking?
Oh, Steve Tyler?
Steven Tyler. Is that a caricature of Steven Tyler?
I think it's Udo and Steven Tyler mixed. Like a mixed caricature of those two. Yeah. But I just love this album though.
Well, you can kind of see where the cover of that reminds me of Poison's Open Up and Say Ah. You know?
Yeah,
but keeping the tongue in.
Yeah, correct.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, what's funny, Aaron, is that you're showing that album. I see that album a lot of times in on the prog videos, and every time I watch it, I'm like, these guys are wrong. Like, King is not a prog band; they were a hair metal band.
Yeah. Gene Simmons always used to talk about them too, and they were actually going to call themselves Crimson Harpoon before they got the name Kiss. That's real. They did, and it's all because of this.
That makes sense.
Awesome. All right. Well, my choice. I know they've got more albums. This is the only one that I happen to own, but I've been a fan of these guys for a long time. I'm gonna go with Gene Loves Jezebel. Definitely.
The name itself.
Yeah. No, definitely. I mean, people compare them to Poison all the time. And that's the thing, is they were always like, well, you guys copied Poison. You guys are just kind of but really they are to Poison what Van Halen is to Kiss, pretty much, if you follow my logic. But that's a really strong album. It actually has Desire, Come and Get It as one of the most popular songs on here, but that's really almost, I'm afraid, I was like, well, people are going to think this is speed metal, not really hair metal, but really closer to hair metal than it is thrash or speed metal. But you've got Heartache, Horse on here, Sweetest Thing, not Swedish, but Sweetest thing on here. So yeah, I don't know how many people know about that, but it is definitely a really great album to check out if you're into the whole 80s super hard rock stuff.
And it's interesting because I did a whole video today on black metal, and I think somebody actually referenced Gene Loves Jezebel. They actually were just called Jezebel. Okay.
Yeah, at one time, kind of like, the cult used to be called Southern Death Cult or whatever, and then they kind of abbreviated it. But yeah, I know there's people I know who won't listen to Gene Loves Jezebel because it's too heavy. They're like, I can't stand it. It's noise. Turn that shit down.
I thought they got the name from Gene Simmons too.
That's did they? Okay.
Well, actually, wasn't that album recorded on Simmons Records? You'll see a little money sign on the back.
Yeah, no, it was. And actually, there's a couple of songs co-written with Desmond Child
and Neil Diamond.
So
yeah, he was everywhere.
All right. Well, if you haven't guessed it already, we're totally full of crap. It's April Fool's Day. So our first honorable mention, we just wanted to do a joke thing. Don't turn the channel off. Don't stop watching. We're just clowning. All right. From here on out, we're totally going to play it serious. But because it's April Fool's Day, we figured you guys would be expecting something. So anyway, Chris, your first real honorable mention.
All right, so this is real. I couldn't keep a straight face before, by the way. I was just cracking up. And then Aaron talking about what Crimson what? What was that you said?
Crimson Harpoon.
Crimson Harpoon. That sounds like yeah, I don't know. I'm not even gonna go there.
Well, that part was real. They were gonna call themselves that.
Wow. Okay. Well, I've got 2 real honorable mentions, and I'm sort of like I'm kind of going glam and hair metal. And my 2 honorable mentions, the first one is Pretty Boy Floyd. Leather boys with electric toys. I mean, you can't get much more glam than this. These guys were great. They were sort of like Poison times 10. Love them. I don't know if you guys have ever heard Pretty Boy Floyd.
Yeah, I've heard of Pink Floyd. Is there any clarity?
No. There's a. Oh, look at it. Yeah, I knew he was going to have an.
You know, actually, he's going to be doing that all night.
Yeah.
Love this.
And my other honorable mention is Brittany Fox. I just love this record. You've got Girls' School on here, Long Way to Love. They do a version of Goodbye to Jane. I mean, but look at those guys. That is hair metal right there. And, you know, there they are right there. But that was the thing that I think was kind of unfortunate, is that a lot of people, I think, were turned off by the look. But if you put the record on, the music is great. And unfortunately, they just sort of got lumped into that hair metal category. But these are my 2 honorable mentions: Pretty Boy Floyd and Brittany Fox.
Both great. Brittany Fox is really good.
Half the girls in my high school yearbook looked like that.
Well, that's what's scary, is some of the guys actually looked better than some of the girls in my high school.
Yeah, no, that's true.
I don't know. I always wanted to look like that, but I couldn't. I don't know. I just wasn't given those looks or that body type either. I mean,
that hair.
Yeah, these guys were cut. I mean, they had like.
They were not screwing around. That hair.
They were not. I mean, yeah. So.
All right, Gary.
Okay, I gotta get this straight. You know, it's always different. Like our places than what they actually are on TV. So I'm after Chris. All right. So my honorable mention. You know, there's no one home in my house of pain. So I'm going with the Faster Pussycat.
Nice.
I remember I went and I saw Alice Cooper, Ace Frehley, and Faster Pussycat opened up. And at that point, I hadn't even heard them. And I went out the very next day and I got this debut album. And I've been a fan. I mean, you know, not all their albums past these 2 have been like spectacular. They've had some moments. Whipped was okay. But I think these first 2 are just great, especially this one is, you know, to me, this is one of the better albums of the 80s. Wake Me When It's Over. This is just a good, solid album. And, you know, Tame Down, he has, you know, a unique vocal style. And they're just good band.
That first album, and this isn't a joke, that could have been a lost Rolling Stones album. I mean, they did a whole Rolling Stone vibe on that album.
Well, that's funny you say that, because when I saw them open that show up, they did a version of Honky Tonk Women.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice.
So,
Great band. Cool. Great band.
Love Faster Pussycat.
All right, Aaron.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I got what I did on my I chose bands that had, you know, 2 albums at least. I just want to show a couple that I really love that didn't make it just because they have one really good record. That's Rockstang, Things You Never Done Before. This album is amazing. Great guitar work. It's just they do like time signature changes on the stuff. Is crazy. Really good album here. And they're a Florida sleaze metal, glam metal band. And then, of course, I got my Spread Eagle, one of my favorites ever from New York. And they're on the heavier side of this genre, and it's one of my favorite albums of all time. And then, of course, I had to put Vane in because that's one of the best albums ever too. I love this so much. And he's actually a producer, produced some Death Angel, and this is just an amazing record. If no one's heard of this, It rocks. Killer album. And then Sea Hags.
Oh yeah, Sea Hags, love that.
So Sea Hags they're just great hard rock metal, in your face, sleaze metal stuff, killer stuff. I love it. So I won't talk too much about them, but I just want to show those because I thought they needed to be mentioned.
And you guys realized how many albums Aaron just showed, right? I thought we were only doing one honorable mention.
Yeah, Aaron sneaks in.
Really cut it down. This is like my favorite genre of music, so I mean, there's a million that I'm not showing that I could have, but I would have. So, yeah.
Well, you had a couple there I'd never even heard of. So,
like which ones?
What was a gang? Something gang?
Rocksgang. Yeah, Rocksgang. Yeah, the guys got a little different style, but they're great.
Yeah, that and Vane. I never heard of that either. So
Vane's real catchy.
Sea Hags are great.
Yeah, Sea Hags.
All four of those I put up against any of these other bands we're going to show tonight. They're as good as any of them.
That's cool.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, mine. I'm gonna go with Gene Loves Jezebel. I was not kidding around the first time. I am serious. This is a heavy album. Damn it. No.
I thought you did with Gene and Cher.
What?
Gene and Cher, is that their album?
Oh yeah, no, I don't know. Whatever. This is not.
They look like a hair metal band.
Yeah, well, they could have been. Yeah, they're a little more alternative, though. I mean, truth be told, they were a little closer to kind of like, I don't know, the Cult or something. But anyway, I don't know. I don't know. Okay, this is not in my wheelhouse. You're lucky you're gonna get 5 bands out of me tonight. So I am gonna pass on my honorable mention since Aaron took a couple. Dixie Tricks or whatever one of yours was, Kick, whatever that was. That's my honorable mention. I totally agree. Spread Eagle.
All right.
Yeah.
If I had another copy, I'd send it to you.
Oh, cool. Awesome. Great. Too late for this episode, but that's all right.
Now Josh wanted us to put it. I got some picks for Josh too. Okay. For JC. So do you want to see his honorable mention?
Yeah.
He had Tesla as his 6. So, I love this band. And, I show all their, these 2 records especially are, they were just really different. Great stuff. Amazing. Everyone knows Tesla. They're a great band.
Awesome.
All right, number 5.
All right. So my number 5 is a little band called Twisted Sister. And this is their album, Under the Blade. My brother was a huge Twisted Sister fan. He always had these albums. And I remember, seeing them in his room. And, Twisted Sister, they sort of rode that line of hair versus glam. But they're a heavy, heavy freaking band. And Dee Snider's voice is amazing. This album is killer. This is 1985. What You Don't Know Sure Can Hurt You, Bad Boys, Run for Your Life, Sin After Sin, Shoot 'Em Down, Under the Blade. This is just a killer record. And I don't think Twisted Sister got enough recognition. I think they were a lot of times looked at as a joke band, and I think probably because of their videos. But they were very, very heavy, talented. And like I said, Dee Snider's voice is amazing. He sort of has this like Alice Cooper quality to his voice as well. I really, really dig these guys, though.
Chris, I have to ask a serious question. Was that the follow-up to Stay Hungry, or was that an earlier album that they redid the cover for?
No, this is their first album.
Okay. Were they?
I think after this was
Can't Stop Rock and Roll.
What was it?
Under the Blade, You Can't Stop Rock and Roll, then Stay Hungry.
Can't Stop Rock and Roll, and then Stay Hungry, right?
Okay, because I saw the back cover. It doesn't look like Dee Snider's got like the makeup on.
Well, that was what was funny about this cover is that they show them in makeup and then on the back in street clothes.
They
did
the original cover for it here.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh, wow.
I think my brother had that original cover.
Yeah, and then the second one, see, they had the makeup look, and then they always had a street look too. They were like had both. So this is their second record here.
Okay.
I think what's crazy too is I know Aaron was talking about, I think last week or something, you were showing a Twisted Sister live album, and you said they were doing the song "Leader of the Pack" back when they first started, but it didn't show up until "Come Out and Play."
Their fourth record. Yep.
Yeah. So I don't know. They're just a very good band. I think, a lot of people sort of dismiss them as a joke band, but very, very good band.
Yeah. Well, they had those couple videos with the guy from Animal House, and that kind of pigeonholed them. But they had the video for Can't Stop Rock and Roll. Weren't they just like in blue jeans and stuff? All denim. I second for that one. And maybe The Price, something like that. I know they had a couple where they weren't all like that. And, I don't know. I'll admit it turned me off too when I first saw, all that like jokey kind of stuff. But then when I saw some of the other videos and heard some of the other songs, I'm like, oh no, these guys are like a serious rock and roll band. So, yeah.
And now I need to get that alternate cover now.
Yeah.
A different mix too. They remixed it for that one there. And so the first one I think came out in 83, and then they remixed it for that. And then I actually like how that one sounds better. Some people like the other, but I prefer the one you have.
I mean, the song Destroyer is so heavy.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is a great.
And Shoot 'Em Down is good.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Gary.
For my number 5 pick, I went for all women here. I went with Vixen. I like Vixen, and as far as music wise, and definitely that look, I guess you'd have to call them hair metal at that time. I know they're kind of poppy in a way, especially the first album. But the first album had a lot of, people writing the songs for them. And the record company was kind of making them do that. And then the second one, Rev It Up, is more the band writing the songs. And I actually like Rev It Up more than I do the debut album. But the songs themselves, I mean, anything I'm going to talk about today, I still love the music now. I still enjoy it. And, they might not be some of my all-time favorite bands, but a lot of it I still love. I still go see these bands in concert. I plan on seeing Vixen this year. I saw them a few years ago. And, obviously they got some different members, how that goes. But they're just a fun rocking band. There's nothing complicated about this. It's just simple rock. So that's number 5, Vixen.
Great choice.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. So here's my it's only one, I promise. My number 5 is Dirty Looks.
Oh, there you go.
They're a great band. They're kind of almost have an AC/DC-ish quality to them. Maybe a little bit heavier though, but a little more catchy as well. And I just love this band. Actually, my friend's band, Lazy Jane, opened up for them in a show down in Salt Lake. That was really cool. And there's the guys there. Henrik Ostergaard, he died a few years back, the singer and guitarist. But they're just a great band. And this Cool from the Wire, man, when I first heard this, it just blew me away. The song, It's Not the Way You Rock. I heard that on the radio. I've told this before. And I heard it. I was driving around in Portland, Oregon, went and bought the cassette, and it didn't stop playing it for like 3 months, just over and over and over. It's just so good. And Oh Ruby sounds like a heavier AC/DC song. That was a video for them. But it's just, they're very solid. I wish I had 5 Easy Pieces. They're album after Turn of the Screw, but it's really hard to get on vinyl. And this Turn of the Screw is amazing too. It just follows where Cool from the Wire left off. 2 of my favorite records of all time. I love these.
I think you might have introduced me to Dirty Looks because I got the CD, I think, after you talked about them. And that Cool from the Wire or whatever, that is great.
Yeah, it's really good. I love this.
They
I'll
should
put this up. Anyone?
huge.
Huh?
They should have been huge.
Oh yeah, yeah. But it's kind of a weird cover. It's the singer in this pink font. It's kind of strange, but they're.
But he's
heavy.
giving you a dirty, he's giving you a dirty look.
Yeah.
That's what I like about it.
Well, I think the other thing is the market was saturated. I think there were so many bands, and it's like, how do you make yourself a little different than everybody else? So I think a lot of these bands were really good, but they flew under the radar because there were so many other great bands.
Yeah. Love that band.
Well, speaking of other great bands that flew under the radar, I'm going to go with this is a band Gene loves. No, kidding. Okay. Enough of that. All right. So anyway, the band that I am going to go with my number 5, and I'm going to start whipping out cassettes here, people, because that's what I grew up with during the day. But I'm going to go with a band called Crocus.
Oh yeah.
Love Crocus.
Change of Address.
Nice, Aaron.
The Blitz here. But Crocus is a damn good little rock and roll band, heavy rock band. But they I don't know if you can call them hair metal necessarily, but they were definitely 80s hard rock, definitely melodic. All the things, all the hallmarks of yeah.
My good buddy Jeff got me that.
Yeah, but no, I don't know if
oh, yeah, I got that.
Yeah, I don't know if they're considered necessarily hair metal, but definitely great hard rock and roll. And I don't know too many people where their name comes up in that conversation, but
yeah, I love Crocus, and I that was one of the bands I was kind of thinking, but like I said, it's kind of like I don't know what falls in the categories and everything. One of the things about this whole last year and all the COVID thing that pisses me off, I actually had tickets to see Crocus up in your neck of the woods, I think, Jeff. I think it was up in Detroit area. I was supposed to see Crocus, and it was supposed to be their farewell tour, and of course it got canceled. And I don't know if they're going to reschedule a tour or what, or if they're just going to hang it up.
Yeah, I don't know, but if you like all these other bands that we're talking about and you haven't yet checked out Crocus, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised, because I think that they're right in there. They came out at the same time. They came up at the same time as these other bands, Twisted Sister and Quiet Riot, and they had the same to offer as all these other bands did, but I don't think they weren't real showy. They didn't have cool, they didn't have these eccentric videos on MTV, to kind of make a name for themselves, but they were a great band nonetheless.
Well, I think the other problem with Crocus is a lot of people look at them as the poor man's AC/DC, because they have that vibe, but they do sound a little like AC/DC, but they definitely have their own vibe, and they're still recording great albums. I think one of their latest albums is called Rock the Block or something like that. It's still really, really good stuff. So they have some later releases that are as good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the song Screaming in the Night is one of the all-time great 80s songs too.
Yeah.
And that name Crocus, you just want to throw the
yeah, you're right.
Crocus.
A big part of their downfall, I think, also was Beavis and Butthead always made fun of them. And it seemed like there was them and Winger and a couple other bands that were always made fun of by them. And then that whole younger crowd didn't take them serious because of that, I think.
Yeah, that's too bad. Plus, they're a European band, and not all those bands did as well over here. I mean, they were still huge in Europe, but anyway.
All right, Chris, you're number 4.
Josh was first.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Sorry about that. I could do all Josh's at the end if you want, or his number 4, his number 5 though was Dokken.
Love Dokken.
Rockin' with Dokken, and George Lynch, of course, one of the best guitarists ever. And they were just an amazing band. Especially, both these two albums are all-time classics for me. These two as well, but it's those second, third, and fourth records, I think, best. I don't know, Tooth and Nail's pretty good too. But yeah, and Don Dokken's really underrated singer. He actually sang on a lot of the Blackout album, Scorpions, the background vocals.
Yeah.
Klaus Meine was having problems with his voice, getting the high notes. So Don Dokken is actually singing on a lot of Blackout, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Weird fact. So sorry about that.
No, that's cool.
Jeff is falling asleep. Jeff's falling asleep.
Well, no, I was just gonna say, like, it's one of those, like, Don Dokken and George Lynch just could not get along, to preserve. I mean, they could have had such a longer shelf life if those two had just, put aside their differences, but they were fighting, and then, I don't know. It just, I think Back to the Attack was their last album before they kind of broke up, because George Lynch and Don Dokken were fighting and could not keep it together and get along. But,
Their secret weapon was kind of their bass player, Jeff Pilson, in the same way of Michael Anthony for Van Halen, where he did a lot of the background vocals and it mixed. That's where they got a lot of their sound from.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Yeah. Well, this was difficult because, I mean, I grew up on this music, and like Aaron was saying, we could have come out with a top 20 of all these bands, because right now I'm looking at what I picked and I'm like, shit, I should have picked this band. I should have picked that band. And I mean, there's so many hair metal and glam metal bands. So, as I'm showing these, I'm like, man, I should have shown something else. But number 4, I'm going with Motley Crue. And this is my favorite Motley Crue album.
Yep.
Mine too.
And again, nothing against Dr. Feelgood, nothing against Girls, 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 nothing against Theater of Pain. I love Shout at the Devil's my second favorite. I just love the vibe of this album. And it's glam and metal and punk all mixed together. The songwriting is great. Vince Neil's vocals are great. I just love this whole record. And the cool thing about Motley Crue is they change with every album. I mean, this was their sort of punk album, and then Shout at the Devil was the Satan record, and then Theater of Pain was their glam record. Girls, Girls, Girls was sort of like their street record, and then Dr. Feelgood was like, oh, hey, we're not drinking anymore, and this is our mature record. So every record sort of further developed their sound, but this is my favorite. And when you're talking hair metal, you got to throw Motley Crue in there. I remember, like, when I was younger in junior high, everybody would decorate their lockers with pictures from Circus Magazine or Metal Hammer or something like that. And, all the girls had pictures of Vince Neil up in their locker. So did I. All right. Because Motley Crue was it. I mean, you couldn't watch MTV without seeing a Motley Crue video. Yeah. And they definitely have to be in the top 5.
And Andy Warhol designed that album cover. And is that the one with the working zipper?
No, I wish, because I spent many a night wishing that I could unzip this cover, but it's a working zipper. Yeah.
So that must be a repress then. Okay.
Yeah. I was hoping it was going to be like the Rolling Stones, but
when you were talking about their debut album there, to me, and I love that too, and that's probably my favorite Motley Crue, because to me that kind of you have that kind of feeling about that, like the kind of feeling I have for the first 2 Iron Maiden records.
Yeah.
There's just something so special to me about those records. They got their own unique feel, and it's like rock, it's like metal, it's got a little bit of punk in there, and I mean, Vince Neil's kind of got that little bit of a sneer going on, kind of thing, almost like from a New York Dolls at times. And it's just a special record. And I love those other records. I love them. Like you said, they got different ones, but that first one is just so raw sounding, and it's just a great record.
I mean, this was 1982. I mean, this sound was just starting to bubble up, and I mean, people were catching on, and this was exciting. Like, you wanted to be the next band, and you know, I wish I could have been. I wish I was a little bit older in 1982 to sort of. It would have been great to see Motley Crue in on the Sunset Strip live. You know what I mean? Before they hit it big. I mean, I wasn't old enough. I was only 8. I was only 8 when this album came out. But still, I mean, what a kick-ass record.
Yeah, I didn't see him until Theater of Pain. That was the first time I saw him.
I've never seen him live.
That album has such urgency too.
Well, they had something to prove.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
And then Shout at the Devil, like, I love that record too. That's freaking heavy. But the songwriting, didn't Nikki Sixx write most of the songs?
Oh yeah, almost.
Yeah.
He's a great songwriter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Motley Crue is just, they're really very, very good band.
Okay. Well, my number, what is it, 3? Yeah. Number 3 is probably no big surprise here. Going with Rat. I love these Rat albums right here. They all have something really great on them. And, you know, when this debut came out, to me, this kind of, once again, I don't want to say it started something because things were already going on, but I don't know, this one just really, really captured my attention. I can still remember, like, you know, we'd been listening to it a few times, and me and my friend, we were driving up to Cedar Point, which is an amusement park, and we had this cassette playing, and we're looking at each other and we're going, this album is, you know, just fucking great, isn't it? You know, we're just singing along with it. And, you know, and I still love these albums. I think Rat is one of the great bands to come out of this time period. There's so many hooks in these songs. It's crazy. I mean, you know, they're really they're like pop songs turned into these heavy songs. I love it. Stephen Pearcy's vocals, it's like I don't know that you would say he's like a good singer, but he definitely had a unique voice. And Warren DeMartini is just an amazing guitar player, and that combination, they just did a lot throughout the 80s, and they kind of dominated a lot of the 80s in my mind. I saw them touring off this album. It was them and Fastway opened up. And that was a hell of a show. So that's my pick.
Well, Gary, I just changed one of my picks because of you, because Rat rules.
Rat and Roll.
They are a great freaking band. And you said Stephen Pearcy's not that great of a singer. I'm gonna say he is a great singer because he just had that sleaze thing down, you know?
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? I didn't have time to find it, guys. Somewhere, I still have my Rat and Roll concert shirt from that tour. It's, you know, it's one of the jersey kind of shirts, and I was going to try to slap that sucker on, but I couldn't find it. I got it somewhere. I know I do.
I can't fit into my Poison concert t-shirt anymore.
I can still fit into most of mine, so.
Yeah, well, yeah, you don't look like you've eaten a lot of pizza.
I've eaten a lot of pizza, and I drank a lot of beer.
Your metabolism must be better than mine then.
I tell you what, it's slowing down right now, though.
Oh, Jesus.
My number 4 pick is Metabolism. They're a great hair metal band. All right, Aaron.
Well, you know what's funny is, like, and before Aaron starts, if we were like 16 talking about this, the word metabolism probably would never.
Yeah.
We're obviously in our 40s and 50s. So,
yeah. My number 4 is Black and Blue.
Black and Blue.
And yeah, this album here, especially Nasty Nasty, one of my favorite all-time records. The song Nasty Nasty has the guitar riff that Kiss used later on in the Domino. The guitar riff comes from Nasty Nasty. Gene Simmons produced this. Tommy Thayer was the writer. He's in Kiss now. It was an interconnection. And then there's also a song in here that they took apart from, is it Only You? Or, yeah, I think it's the song Only You, the end of that. There's a jam part, and it's in one of these too. Called Kiss of Death. I think it's the song. Yeah.
Wait, Only You from The Elder?
Yes. There's an exact guitar riff from Only You that's in this.
Huh.
So
then the Elder
at this point, he did all four of the last two, co-wrote a few songs. But these albums are so good, and they're from Portland, Oregon, my hometown, and they're my favorite band from there. I just love this band, and especially this record here. This song, "I'll Be There For You," should have been a huge hit. It's an amazing, catchy. I mean, it sounds like a mixture of Rat and Autograph, kind of. Real catchy, killer riffs, and some killer hooks. I mean, just love Black and Blue. Jamie St. James and the guitarist Tommy Thayer actually were in a Kiss tribute band back years ago. Around this time, they called Cold Gin, and Jamie St. James, the singer, actually played Peter Criss's part. Tommy Thayer was ace, so it kind of was easy for him to take over that. He'd already been playing songs the whole time, so it's kind of crazy. But I actually like Black and Blue more than a lot of the bands out at that time. They're in my top 5 on this.
Well, okay, so did Jamie St. James, did he go to Danger Danger?
No.
Oh, who was the lead singer for Danger Danger?
I can't remember his name. I used to have the cassette. I owned it for 30 years, but it wasn't Jamie St. James. They were going at the same time.
What other band was Jamie St. James in any other bands?
One called Freight Train Jane. They have one record.
All right.
Yeah. Yep.
So many bands.
I know. Like I said, I could have easily done a top 100 of this and still have bands I love that I'm leaving off. I love all these bands. I tried to not go for the more known ones on this.
I went for the known ones. Would Gene Loves Jezebel would have been on your list, or?
They would have been 101.
101.
Just barely missed the cut. Sorry, sir. Actually, I don't really know them that well, so I can't say. I might actually like them a lot.
Yeah, no, you can't say. None of you can say. So
I can't.
Let's leave it at that. All right. Well, Chris stole my thunder for my number 4. I'm going to go with Twisted Sister here. This is their Stay Hungry, obviously. But, if not for MTV, I might have never heard of Twisted Sister because I don't remember them being on the radio. I think that, MoFi.
That MoFi.
Aaron's gonna, no matter what album we're gonna pull out, Aaron's gonna trump it. So
I know.
Well, I think he's already shown. Like I showed something, so he showed the vinyl, the CD, and the cassette version of it. So it's like,
yeah.
But
anyway, they definitely, certainly, I think MTV helped and harmed them in some respects. It helped them gain a wider audience, but in terms of their hard rock credibility, I think some people, might have been turned off by the cartoonish nature a little bit of some of their videos. So at any rate, but I think they're a great band, and people think, well, that was their debut album, but they've been around, they paid their dues. They were around long before that album came out, and a great tight little rock and roll band.
They actually were playing for over a decade before their first album came out, so they really paid their dues. They were playing the clubs for over 10 years.
Yeah.
4 under the kind of crazy.
Yeah. All right, now Josh's number 4.
Well, there we go. His number 4, Rap. And we've already been talking about him, so I'll just kind of show him. But, what can you say? It's an amazing band. My favorite album by them, I think it's yours too, Chris, right?
Yes, it is.
It's always been my
It
favorite.
is a great album.
Yeah.
Oh, Dancing Undercover is great.
Yeah. It just has a flow to it that just like all the songs just flow into each other on that album. So killer.
Yeah, I like the deeper cuts on it too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, so my number 3 was going to be Kiss. I love Kiss, and this is probably their most hair metal album. With I love the song "Tears Are Falling" off of this album.
Oh no,
tears are falling. Oh no, tears are falling. It's, I mean, and look at them. I mean,
was that Hagar?
Their lipstick matches their, whatever their colors. So, but Gary inspired me because I can't not show Rat. I mean, come on now. Rat is my number 3. I love Rat. I don't have Dancing Undercover on vinyl. I've got it on CD, but I mean, we've all talked about Rat. Just a very, very great band. I mean, if you think of 80s, Rat should come to mind, and I don't know why it didn't for me. That's why I changed my pick, but love Rat.
Killer.
Yep.
Is it fair to say that Rat is to hair metal what NXS is to alternative, like new wave?
Yeah, and I'm also going to say, and this is serious, I think Rat is to metal as King Crimson is to prog. I mean, they're right up there.
Because I was like, Stephen Piercy reminded me a lot of Michael Hutchence, just in terms of he was kind of like the focal point of the videos, and he was kind of a charismatic singer. But anyway,
I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love NXS.
Yeah. They are the Miles Davis of jazz. I don't even know where I'm going with that.
Johnny Cash.
I can't believe I just had Rat trump Kiss. Oh my gosh. But here's the thing though. Kiss had their heyday. They were big in the 70s. I love Kiss in the 80s too, but I want to give some props to some other bands too.
Well,
they're in mine for sure, but I'm doing more lesser known bands. Or Kiss would have been on mine.
Yeah. Well, and they had the classic All Night on that one. So,
the lyrics, those are it's like poetry.
It is.
Exactly.
Yeah. I love Forever. It's forever. Michael Bolton.
Michael Bolton rock, man.
Yeah, he was in Blackjack, right?
Yeah, got a Blackjack record. It's pretty good.
Oh, really? I didn't even realize that.
With Bruce Kulick?
Yeah, I had that record when I was a kid, and I traded it back in.
You love the mustache.
Oh, the mustache.
How does he go and pull these records out that fast?
Wasn't Billy Joel in that band Attila or whatever?
Yeah, Attila the Hun or something or whatever.
I didn't get that record.
Yeah. It wore the big furry like jacket and everything in that.
We should just have a video where we say, "Okay, Aaron, go pull out."
Yes.
Yeah.
And time it.
Just because of that.
I couldn't find. All right.
Number 3, Gary.
Okay, my number 3. I guess I won't say too much because it's already been picked. But I was going Dokken. There's a cassette. And I've got some CDs. I don't have any Dokken on vinyl yet. But, Aaron already pretty much said everything. The only thing I will show is, there you go. Dokken also made, this was like, I don't know, probably 90s or early 2000s. They actually have made other really good records.
That's good.
CDs, whatever. Like past their heyday kind of thing that like nobody ever cares about. But honestly, a lot of the later stuff that they made, I tend to listen to more than I do some of that earlier stuff. I mean, I'm always going to listen to this. This is probably my favorite Dokken. But they have had some really other, even though you know, they've had other guitar players in the band, it's still, I think they've made some really good records. So I guess that's the only thing I will add about Dokken. So,
I agree with you. Didn't
although,
they have an album called Lightning Strikes or something like that?
yes. Yeah. And that sounds like it came right out of the 80s.
Yeah.
You know? The thing about Dokken, and Jeff was mentioning about, you know, the infighting and them breaking up and everything. Dokken always, I remember them in the 80s, they were always the perennial special guest. You know, like you'd see them special guest for Aerosmith or, you know, whoever. They were never the main band, it seemed like. Like they were really popular, but they never quite got to that next level or something. So, anyway, that's my pick. On to you, Aaron.
And Dysfunctional was a really good album they had a little later on too.
Yeah, that's when they got back together. They got back together and made that album. Yeah.
That was a great too.
Was that their grunge? Was that their grunge record?
No, but they made one that was supposed to be like a grunge record. I think it was the one after that or 2 albums after that, and it sucks. I can't think of the name of it, but it's not good.
Yeah. I think I have it.
We're the Dream Warriors.
Maybe tonight.
That is my favorite Dokken song. I love that song.
All right, Aaron, your number 3 band that I've never heard of.
I bet you've heard of this one. I'm going Fraley's Comet.
Okay.
Come on now. Yeah.
I just love it. And he was right in the middle of all that. And, you know, these records here. And even his, even this one here, Treble Walking. They're just.
Oh, I love that.
That's my favorite. I love Treble Walking.
Yeah.
And, yeah, there you go.
Damn it.
Ace Frehley. I was going to put Kiss, Ace Frehley, Vinnie Vincent, all 3, but I didn't want to load it up all Kiss. So I just chose Ace. Just because this album here was so special when it came out. It's just, it was just so not different, but it just added a whole nother level of Kiss.
Yeah. Well,
End of the Night's so great. Every song, you know.
Gary's lights just went out.
Yeah, I know. I got you later.
But yeah, I went with Fraley's Comet, number 3.
I feel so freaking cheesy now. Like Aaron is showing all these awesome, like next level albums, and I'm showing all the like, yeah, we knew you were going to show that sort of albums. But
yeah, well, you know what? But didn't you know that ahead of time? I already
guess
knew.
I did.
I swear, I was going to send you guys on the text group there. I was going to say, now, you know, Aaron's just going to kick our ass. He's going to show 50 million vinyls. He's going to have every band. The rest of us are all going to show the same ones, and he's going to choose whatever he wants.
Well, I was so excited. I'm like, yeah, like I'm going to show Pretty Boy on cassette. And then like Aaron's got it on 8-track. I'm like, dude, seriously? He always like, he's able to like go the next level.
That every time I see that, you know, that album there, you just showed the one with Rock Soldiers on there. Because like when the first time I ever got to see Kiss, it was on the Creatures of the Night tour. And we found out like one day before we were supposed to go see him that Ace was not going to be there. They're like, yeah, Ace Frehley has been in some sort of accident and he will not be able to join the tour at this time. I remember seeing the thing on MTV and we're like, what? You know, no Ace Frehley. So we didn't get to see Ace. And so when he came out with that album and came back there, and the first time I got to see him, that was just like so amazing to finally see Ace Frehley like that. So that album, every time I see that album, I think of that concert. I bought the shirt, a bumper sticker that said Ace is back and all this other stuff. I mean, I was just so jacked up for that.
The cool thing is, that's the first time you saw Ace without makeup was the Into the Night video, because he never went through the whole non-makeup thing. So
yeah,
to see him without makeup is the video for that, for Into the Night.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Nice.
Colored vinyl.
I don't have that one.
That's the Record Store Day release.
Cool. Yeah, I only have the original. I don't have the Record Store.
All right, what are we on? Number 3? My number 3, this is another band that MTV helped to break, and I probably wouldn't have heard of them if not for MTV. I'm going to go with Kaja Gugu.
Yes.
Debut album White Feathers, which of course had the album Too Shy.
Hush, hush,
Hush, hush.
Yes. Yeah.
Seriously, really, Aaron?
I like them.
Is that a Japanese pressing?
Yeah, all right. All kidding aside, the Outfield
Yes.
debut, and people think they were an American band because, you know, the baseball reference, but actually they were British or Australian.
Wait. We're considering Outfield a hair metal band?
It's Jeff.
Well, I thought you might say that. So as my backup, I'm going to go with
I was wondering, like, why isn't anybody saying anything? I'm like,
why is nobody challenging Jeff on his bullshit right now?
I was going to grab the Outfield record.
Yeah,
John
no.
is on a vacation far away.
All kidding aside, that's a great album.
Oh, it's an awesome album. Yeah, the Outfield rule.
Yeah. I think their hair wasn't long enough to qualify as hair metal, but anyway, no, so whatever. Dokken, great. You know, I mean, I'm the third one to pick them already. So what's left to be said about Dokken other than they like the color yellow?
They're the ultimate striper.
Yeah. So, you know, anyway, yeah. Go Dokken. Woo!
Yeah.
Dokken with Dokken.
Yeah.
That song with Dokken. They say that in it.
Well, I don't have like any cool records to show like Aaron does, but my number 2, this is just one of my favorite bands growing up, Cinderella. Oh, nice.
God damn it.
Night songs, humming through the night, singing night song. Make the day right, night song.
Number 3, so I had it ready.
This is a killer record. Unfortunately, not unfortunately. I think they look cool on the cover of this record. Look at you guys. I got to get this on vinyl. I have Heartbreak Station on vinyl because of JC.
That's a great one too.
Yes, Night Song, Shake Me, Nobody's Fool, Somebody Save Me, Push Push. That's underrated. Back Home Again. That's a heavy freaking song. Cinderella. They were just amazing. Tom Kiefer on vocals. Fred Coury on drums. A lot of people don't know. He went on to be in a band called Arcade, which are Stephen Pearcy sang for them.
Great band.
Yeah, Arcade is great. I'm sure Aaron has all their albums.
No, just this one here.
Yeah, I've got that on CD too.
You know, Chris, I don't know, on one of your videos a while back, you mentioned Arcade.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that. And so I was like at a record store, I was going through the bin and I saw this record and I'm like, oh, this is Arcade. So I was so excited. I go and I put it on and I'm playing it. I'm like, you know, what the hell? It was Arcadia.
Oh, yeah.
Which is like some of the guys from Duran Duran.
Oh, okay. So Jeff probably has that.
I was disappointed.
Well, and this is for anybody out there who's never heard Arcade. If you like 80s sleaze rock, you would love Arcade. I mean, Stephen Pearcy on vocals, Fred Coury on drums, great band. But I mean, Cinderella, they're just such a great band. And like you guys were showing, Long Cold Winter is great.
Oh, yeah.
Heartbreak Station's awesome. Even the album that followed that, Still Climbing, that's a really good album as well. Tom Kiefer's come out with a solo record that's pretty good too. So, you know, Cinderella.
I saw them on tour for that, and they were heavier.
Yeah?
Yeah, they opened it for Bon Jovi, Slippery and Wet, and Night Songs, and Cinderella killed it. They were so heavy.
Well, wasn't John Bon Jovi in Cinderella's first video or something like that?
Yeah.
He kind of helped them.
Go ahead. Yeah, he's at the end of it. Like they're going and these girls are coming up and the guys in Cinderella are like, all right. And then they go running up to John Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
I think that was cool, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. That's a great song.
I mean, this isn't. It's not the outfield, but
well, no, what is? But
it's still a really good band. And I think the first song I got turned on to from them was "Nobody's Fool."
Yeah.
The video for that. Excuse me. That had all those leaves falling down. It was such a cool video, and yeah, just a great band.
Well, yeah, and this one has like "Falling Apart at the Seams," which is like one of my favorite songs of theirs. That's just a great one.
And don't know what you got till it's gone.
Yeah, this is my pick too, so I'm just talking a little bit about it. And it's just, I guess the thing is, it's a shame that they didn't make any more albums than they did. Tom Kiefer's had vocal problems on and off at different times in his life that has prevented them from touring and prevented them from making more albums. And now I did get to see Cinderella kind of like before they decided to not play anymore together, because now it seems like Tom Kiefer's just decided it's just going to be him. But I saw them at a show where they were supposed to be opening up for the Scorpions on the Scorpions Sting in the Tail album. Scorpions, Klaus Meine, his vocals got something happened to him. He had to cancel like 3 shows, one of them being Columbus, Ohio, which we had the tickets for. So Cinderella went ahead and they said, well, they're going to go ahead and play. And they turned it into a free show. So you bring your tickets back, you get into the show, and you also get your money back. So I saw Cinderella with both my boys for free. And they were still awesome at that point. I mean, they're still great. So that's my pick too, Jeff.
Well, and people say, Tom Kiefer is a white Sam Cooke. He's got that velvety, smooth, kind of crooner's vocal. So it's odd that he ever had vocal because,
Shake me! Shake, break it, baby. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's beer talking.
Shake it, don't break it, baby. Shake
No
me.
white.
I need to get Night Songs and Long Cold Winter on vinyl.
I need to get Heartbreak Station, which I plan on doing. I know it's out there. They
the
it.
Yeah, the only reason I have it is because JC sent it to me. But
yeah.
It's a great one too.
It's an awesome album.
All right.
Number, is this number 2?
Yep.
My number 2? Dangerous Toys.
I knew you were going to pick that
band.
Did you?
Please in.
Yep. And there's some Piss. This is a really underrated record. Here, the third one, amazing. I need Hellacious Acres. I don't have that on CD. But this album,
CD.
This is one of my most listened to albums of all time. I had it on, cassette when it came out, and me and my friend, like one of those albums that we would just sit there and sing the whole thing, and all of us, had a whole group of us just going crazy over it. Every song on it. That Dog, we were all wearing leather jackets and, talking about leather skin, kind of crazy.
Well, here's something I want to say. I can't remember my kids' names, but isn't there a song on that Dangerous Toys album called Sportin' a Woody?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember.
Is in Woody Woodpecker?
Yes.
Yeah. Woody Hayes.
Woody Hayes. Okay.
Yep. But the singer, Jason McMaster, he actually came from a progressive metal band and then went to this Texas sleaze metal from a progressive. Yeah, the King Watchtower.
There's your tie-in.
But they were very progressive metal, like technical progressive metal, really good band too. And but this is my album. This is going to be coming up in one of my videos, best of the years. It'll be in the top 5 for sure. Whichever year this is, I forgot. 90, coming right up.
Really good album.
Amazing record.
Hey, let me ask you guys a quick question while I'm thinking about it. Do you guys still when these bands are still around? Do you still go see them in concert?
The short answer is yes.
Okay. So do I.
But nobody comes to Idaho. Very rarely. But if they do, I would definitely see them.
Yes.
Especially if it was something like that. Yeah.
Jeff's trying to wrap it up here.
Yeah, Jeff's ignoring that question. Go ahead. Go.
All right. Well, my number two, this is a band my parents would never let me listen to because we're so heavy and dark. They had suggestive lyrics. Their album covers were very controversial. I think Kmart even wouldn't carry some of their albums because they were so provocative. But talking about Hooters.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That is one of my favorite albums ever.
Yeah, yeah. But they had Day by Day. It was a great thrash rock song. All You Zombies, you know, we got the whole zombie death thing going on. But actually, that was my backup pick because you guys already took my first pick with
Nice.
Cinderella.
Nice. On cassette. Nice.
Yeah. I'll see you your night songs, and I'll raise you your long cold winter. And then we got Heartbreak Station. But yeah, you know, and that like the elephant in the room is that who is that?
Cinderella.
That's Still Climbing. It's a great album.
Oh, okay. Always got to be the show off. Let me have my little spot in the sun.
Yeah, Jeff was so proud. He's like, yeah, I've got three Cinderella cassettes to show. Freaking Aaron pulls out Still Climbing.
You got me beat by one, Jeff, because I only had that in Heartbreak Station on cassette. So you got me beat.
Well, and the elephant in the room is that, you know, is Tom Kiefer trying too hard to sound like Brian Johnson from AC/DC? You know, can we at least acknowledge the similarities there?
I think there's more similarity between the guy from Crocus, Mark
Garachi?
Yeah, however you pronounce his name.
Well, I think they're all from the school of Brian Johnson, AC/DC. But yeah, no, well, the thing about Cinderella, like they, you know, you would talk about, you know, the song, you know, Bad Seamstress Blues. That's like actually bluesy. Like you're listening to the beginning of that song, you're like, wait a minute. Did I put on a Stevie Ray Vaughan?
When I was young.
Yeah, like it's very cool. And even like Long Cold Winter is very bluesy. So, I mean, they weren't just like hard rock. I mean, they definitely incorporated elements, and some of it, you know, I mean, I can hear bits of like kind of like Sticky Fingers, Exile on Main Street era Rolling Stones, and some of their, you know, some of their music as well. So they were a cool bluesy, you know, heavy metal hard rock band too. But yeah, Cinderella's great, and so are the Hooters. Yeah,
I think that actually kind of hurt them a little bit because I know as a kid when I loved night songs, and when Long Cold Winter came out, I was a little disappointed at first because it didn't sound like night songs. Because like you were saying, Jeff, it had that bluesy sound to it. But I think it's aged well. But as a kid, like I wanted to almost hear like Night Songs Part 2.
Yep. Yeah. And the song Winter is really bluesy too. That's a really good one.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a great album though.
Yep.
So JC's number 2 was this. Motley Crue, like we've talked about.
Now, why is that just a black cover though?
It's got a pentagram on it.
It's on there.
It's got like it's like an embossed pentagram, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, but the CD has their photos on the front though.
Yeah, the CD went soft, like they didn't put the pentagram on there, but that's actually the black cover with the pentagram on it. I'm not sure why they didn't reproduce that on the. I mean, it's kind of like Metallica's Black Album, where you have to like really hold it up to the light to see that's just a strictly, you know, totally black cover. But
I was looking for the cassette, but I don't have it anymore. But I know that the cassette did have the pictures, the 4 pictures on it. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have it on cassette.
And those 4 pictures are actually from the Looks That Kill video, aren't they?
I think it looks like it.
Yeah, I think those are taken from that video. But anyway, that was the last time that, you know, I think they kind of, that Vince Neil had abs, but also that they embraced the whole, you know, kind of satanic thing. on a record.
Yeah.
Well, the thing that was always cool about that album is it was like warning may contain backwards messages. It's
like, at the devil, not with the devil.
Yeah.
They're mad at the devil.
Yeah, right. I know. That's how I justified it to my parents. It's not with, it's at. So.
Nice.
And
cool.
Take that, Aaron.
We are not fucking around.
Oh, here we go. Why did you even do
it? We are not fucking around.
I shouldn't have even gone there, you know.
Well, let's see. I'll start with this one. It's a new tattoo.
I like that album.
Me too. Generation Swine. Self-titled.
I think we already did a cassettes video, didn't we?
Probably.
Aaron, do you have this one on vinyl?
No, I have it on CD. I don't have it on. I wish I did. I love that album. It's a great one.
I was so proud of these two cassettes before.
I don't have that one. I don't have Shout.
Showed me up.
Not really, because I don't have Shout. That's the better one.
All right, Christian, number one.
You are the sun, I am the moon. You are the words, I am the tune. Play me. Play me.
Play me.
I saw Neil Diamond live, and I'm going to tell you right now, I know this is not a Neil Diamond video, but he did 2 records with Rick Rubin. He did an album called 13 Songs and an album called Home Before Dark. Killer records. If you like the Johnny Cash records with Rick Rubin, I would check out the 2 Neil Diamond records, and I'd also check out the Donovan record called Sutras that Rick Rubin produced too. So
I forgot all about that. I remember reading that about Neil Diamond doing an album like that, like late in his career with Rick Rubin, and I would like to get that.
So good. All right, so I digress. Well, my number one, this was my first concert ever.
Oh.
I saw Poison and Tesla together on this tour. And man, we are all about the cassettes tonight.
Yeah.
This is obviously the what do you call it?
I won't do it.
not the real cover. It's the censored. That's the word I was looking for.
Yep.
The censored cover. I look with the Cat Dragon. I like that better, but this is the only cassette I have by them. I saw Poison on Open Up and Say, this was just always. I love this band. I mean, Bret Michaels. He was like the ultimate like glam frontman. I love their videos. They were almost like Kiss Part 2. They were a fun band, nothing but a good time. I think I remember reading that Poison wanted sort of like their own version of Rock and Roll All Night. So they did nothing but a good time. And I mean, this album, free, what do you call it? Every Rose Has Its Thorn is on here. Fallen Angel, Love on the Rocks, Nothing But a Good Time, Your Mama Don't Dance. Just Poison was great. And I love the first album better. I like Open Up and Say Flesh and Blood is all right. Native Tongue was when they sort of started to get kind of blue. I feel like all the bands got bluesy. Mm-hmm. They brought that other guitar, Richie
Kotzen.
Yeah, Richie Kotzen.
For Native Tongue. What else? Who else did he play with?
Himself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's one.
Oh, there you go. Oh, yeah.
His latest.
The other day. So, whatever. I forget what I was saying, but my number one.
I'm just trying to pretend I'm Aaron.
I went from like singing Neil Diamond and like going on my Diamond soapbox to.
You did. You just said when you were doing Poison, and you just said "Love on the Rocks."
Oh yeah, Love on.
Ain't no big surprise.
Yeah, I love Neil Diamond. I don't care. I really don't. If I lose subscribers because I like Neil Diamond, then whatever.
That's only Jeff that does that. So my number one, I wasn't even going to pick this band because I don't really consider them hair metal, but it's like one of my favorite bands out of that time period. Because I got a superstitious woman with a superstitious mind. Talking about Whitesnake. I just think that out of this time period, you know, I realize they started in the 70s and they were, you know, blues rock. And this is still, you know, a lot of it is still blues rock. But I just think that, you know, they were just a powerful band. Look at that. There we go. And they just developed their sound to kind of fit the time period a little bit.
Oh, shit. Now I need to alphabetize them again.
That's what you get, smartass. Anyway, Whitesnake, David Coverdale, and all the different guitar players that he had.
Gary, did you just say Whitesnake started in the 70s?
Yeah.
I'm not sure that's accurate because their self-titled album actually came out in 1987.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
You may want to check your history a little bit there.
I'm sorry. You're probably right. I'm sure. I forgot. This is their debut album.
Thank you. All right. Now that we got that settled, Aaron.
Yeah, I'll do JC's first because it ties in. Because his number one was Whitesnake as well.
Yeah. All right. There we go.
So yeah, and
hey, yeah,
nice.
Got some Dixon on cassette.
JC, sorry you're not here, man. But Whitesnake, great choice. Of course, watch Jeff's video to find out all about their debut here. It's amazing. They're great. The Whitesnake's great.
In the Still of the Night.
Yeah, that song when it came out, I mean, you couldn't get away from it. It was just everywhere, and everyone was so blown away by the violin.
Oh yeah.
Bow on the guitar and all that. Even though Jimmy Page actually did that before in Kashmir, didn't he?
Oh, he did that back in Dazed and Confused, and before that, he did it in the Yardbirds.
Yeah. So, but I mean, it was pretty cool for an '80s band to do that. Too,
oh yeah.
So, yeah. It's actually John Sykes that did it, but
right.
Yeah. Cool. So my number one, you guys will never guess.
Oh, I thought that was your number one.
No, that was JC. Since he had the same as Gary's, I just.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So my number one, you'll never guess.
Clutch.
The other one.
Sweet FA.
Yeah, my favorite band from this whole era is Sweet FA. They only had 2 records, and to me, these are both masterpieces. They're just the bluesy, hard rock. They got acoustic. They have heavy rocking. They have ballads, everything, and it's all great. Amazing album, amazing 2 albums. This one here isn't known as much, but it's just every bit as good as their first one. And just an amazing guitarist, amazing drummer that came from a thrash band actually. And the singer just has that really, almost a David Lee Roth quality, only a better singer kind of, just has that same attitude to his voice. And I just, ever since I heard this band, they've been one of my very favorites. And I had to put them number one. It would, you know, I could always put Kiss number one, but Sweet FA is mine.
All right. My
Good
number
choice.
one, gonna go with Tesla, which I know Josh already covered, but that's my number one.
That's a great record too. My favorite part.
I always thought, well, they're a little more highbrow than some of the other heavy metal rock. I remember my roommates in college being like, well, you know, it's Tesla, and they actually, you know, they're all cerebral, and they are trying to promote Nikolai Tesla and the fact that Thomas Edison ripped off all his ideas or whatever, you know, and it's like, no, they're not. They're not any more highbrow than Poison or Dokken or Twisted Sister or any of the other Extreme or any of that other shit that was coming out at that time. But, you know.
Do you guys want to do a quick cassette showdown here? Like, I'll show a cassette and see if somebody can beat me.
Jeff,
okay.
All right, I'm showing, I bet you Aaron knows this band, Child's Play on cassette.
Child's Play.
Nice.
I love it. Rat Race. Man, this is my bottle. The song My Bottle on this is so good. It's my bottle.
Look at this. Dokken Tooth and Nail with a different cover.
Ooh.
Aaron's going to show it. Nice. Nice.
Trying to find 80s stuff like that.
I have all my punk cassettes too.
I don't have any of
LA Guns.
I have the original cover of this.
Steel Heart, nice. Do you have LA Guns, Hollywood Vampires?
I don't. I used to, but I don't have the glasses in it. 3D glasses. Yeah. You got me.
How about that? Fast Way, Waiting for the Roar.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't have any Fast Way on cassette anymore. I used to have them.
You guys have Tough on cassette?
I almost picked them.
Nice. Oh, Scorpions, nice. Savage Amusement. What about Trouble Tribe?
I used to have that. That's a good album. I don't think I do anymore. No. But I do have an even better one.
Ooh, Aerosmith. Trouble, nice. Dude, Stormtroopers of Death. Speaking of
that. That's a good one.
Here.
You talked about the band Arcade. I've got some Arcade also.
That's the album I bought, that Arcadia thing.
Wasp, Live Animal, nice.
Ooh, what is that?
Metal Monsters, Masters of Metal. This is a comp.
I used to have a couple of those.
It's got Winger on here, Easy O. Nice.
Bill, I'm surprised nobody mentioned this.
Yeah,
that's a great album. LA Guns is so good. What about DRI?
Nope. This is an amazing one.
Lillian Axe, nice.
Love and War.
That's
a great album.
This is like trading baseball cards.
Yeah, David Lee Roth. Yeah. Metal
Church. Nice. You like Metal Church, Aaron?
Oh yeah.
Fear?
Little 2-for-1. You get the Motels, Missing Persons.
There we go. Again. Some more rock scan. Bullet Boys. There we go.
Oh yeah. Bullet Boys. Yeah.
Bullet Boys. They almost made my list, actually.
All right. Let's see if Aaron's got this. Every Mother's Nightmare. Wake Up Screaming.
How do you like the case?
I like the case. I love this part of the video because we just start showing our dork. Like seriously, like this is gonna get me a girlfriend. Like I have King the Dark Sides
King Diamond
on freaking cassette. Tora. Oh man, Tora is so good. Love Tora.
Wild America. This is killer. Amnesia. Their second album.
Lynch Mob. We're talking about Dokken.
Yeah.
They're killer.
Oh yeah.
All right, guys. Well, this has been a lot of fun. Hair metal is totally my favorite genre to talk about. I could have picked, 80 bands, easy.
Nobody mentioned White Lion tonight. Wait. I never had the chance to love you.
Thank you, Jeff.
All right. You bet.
Oh, one more.
Entertaining as always. Miss you, Josh.
Yep. See you, everybody.
See you guys.